YouTube, what's up? Back again for another daily fishing video here on Andrew Upshaw Fishing. I just got to the lake here at Sam Rayburn, getting ready to practice my very first day of practice here for the very final Bassmaster Open of the season. I am ready to get this year done, but you know, the nice thing is I get to finish the year on a place that I really enjoy to fish. Haven't been here much this year, honestly, just been on the road so much, so excited to get out there and kind of see what's going on. I heard fishing's kind of tough, but you know, that's just how it is in the fall. You know, fishing's always a little bit tough. But I do want to talk about the latest tournament that just wrapped up yesterday. Yesterday evening, the WON Bass U.S. Open. It was won by Josh Bertrand. So first off, I want to say congratulations to Josh. What a humongous accomplishment that is. And for many that don't know, I mean, the U.S. Open is an iconic tournament that I always look forward to. I haven't got to fish it the last couple of years because of just travel constraints and shooting TV shows and doing all those things, but it is by far one of my favorite tournaments ever to fish. And Josh was really close, I want to say just a couple years ago, and he almost was able to pull it out then, but this time, he blew it out. And when I say blew it out, I think he still only won by a little over a pound. But if you look at the difference between second, third, fourth, fifth, I mean, there was a huge weight difference as far as that goes. I mean, across the board. But one thing that was really significant to me is, they moved the U.S. Open from Lake Mead. They didn't really have a choice. They had to. They moved it to Mojave, just down the river. And from everything I was told, Mojave had just a plethora of big smallmouth, and obviously they were right. I mean, obviously, you look at how Bertrand did, how Spencer Sheffield, who got second, did, and I mean, guys, crushed on them. But one thing that was really significant is Josh was very blatant about how he was catching them. He's using a Berkeley flatworm, using a live scope, or some type of forward-facing sonar. I don't know if he's a Lowrance or live scope or Garmin, but he's using forward-facing sonar. And if you look at this, I mean, you hear a lot of people whining and crying about forward-facing sonar, but first and second at the U.S. Open this year, I promise you without a doubt, we're using forward-facing sonar. And I find it really significant because it just goes to show you, it doesn't matter where you go across the country, if you put a tool like that in somebody's hand, like a Josh Bertrand, a Spencer Sheffield, and they're able to scan around and find those fish, people who are that proficient with it, that good with it, are going to win. I mean, that's just where it is right now. So maybe make that as a note to yourself, as I've got to get better the next time I'm on the water at using that forward-facing sonar. And now I'm going to have some comments say that, I don't think it should be allowed, and that's, I mean, we could call apples to oranges. I mean, I could argue all day why it should be allowed, and I could argue all day why it shouldn't be allowed. But at the end of the day, I don't want to make this an argumentative post. This is a video to congratulate these two guys. And I say two guys because I want to congratulate Bertrand and I want to congratulate Spencer Sheffield, both of which went outside of their comfort zones. Well, not necessarily Bertrand. Bertrand's from Arizona. But Spencer Sheffield from Arkansas, grew up in Arkansas and has just lived and fished there forever. And honestly, has become one of the very best fishermen in the world right now. I mean, you look at his term results, he has just been outstanding. But to take both of these guys that tour everywhere, that didn't get to spend weeks and weeks and weeks in Mojave learning the place or fishing it, showed up, practiced for a few days, and won the event and finished second in the event. And quite honestly, both of them averaged 20 pounds per day of smallmouth. This is the fall time of the year, which is typically the toughest part of the year. Not only did they do it in the toughest part of the year, but they also did it on a place where I promise you, didn't have extended practice. They just put their trolling motor down. They were confident in a couple things, and they knew if they really put their time in and figured out how to catch them using that forward-facing sonar, fishing a drop shot, that they were going to do good in this tournament, and both of them did. Both of them caught them. The biggest bag of the tournament that I'm aware of was Bertrand on day one. with 23 pounds. Like, guys, that is absolutely crazy weights. So I've fished the U.S. Open a number of times now. I don't even know how many, 4 times. I don't know how many times, but quite a few different times. And it's always been a different experience every single time. You know, there was one time that I felt like, actually 2 different times that I felt like I had a chance to win, and I just didn't finish it. You know, it was one of those where I started out really good. Actually, one of them I started out really good and then I just tapered off, and then the other one I started off really bad and then I did better as the event went on. And it's just such a challenging event. It's probably one of the more unique events, and I actually wish a lot of these Eastern tournament trails would incorporate the tournament, the layout of this particular event, because all the anglers fish all 3 days, and I think that's really awesome. And the other thing that they do is on the final day, whoever's in the top 10 gets to leave first, but weigh in last. So they get the longest day because they've earned it. And I think that's even cooler, and it's because it's based off position that you are in the tournament, based off how you weigh in and the number of which you go out. The other thing is it actually, it's a combined weight deal, so where you bring in co-anglers, your co-angler shares your weight, so y'all are both trying to get 5 bass instead of, the co-angler getting 3 fish and the pro getting 5 fish, and you're splitting fish, and you're kind of, you want to work together with that co-angler. You want to figure out how to catch bass with them. And I always had a great experience with my co-anglers out west. I've still talked to quite a few of them. And here's a couple clips of a few fish catches that I had the last time I was at Mead, which not Mojave, it's Lake Mead, which is exponentially tougher than Mojave. But here's a couple of fish catches that I always remember. Oh, I might have. Oh, I got one. Oh, yeah, that's hurt. No, it isn't. What the heck, man? When I first set the hook, it felt like a good one. So maybe that other one was a little. There's one. Oh, yeah, there we go. There we go. Yeah, we got 3. I can't believe it. I know that makes you feel like, holy crap, we were really not going to catch one today. Oh, shoot. There we go. Thank you. Overall, guys, I just want to say huge congratulations to these 2 anglers. More so Bertrand. I'm going to tell you guys, I don't think y'all realize Bertrand won $75,000 cash in a brand new Bass Cat Cougar. That's like a $80,000, $90,000 boat. $100,000 boat, depending on how it's loaded out. I mean, you're talking, I don't even remember what the entry fee is. I want to say it's around the $2,000 mark. A $2,000 entry fee, 3 days of fishing guaranteed, and they're paying out almost $200,000 in prizes. That's pretty dang good, and anybody can get into it. I hate that I missed it this year. I always try my best to get in that tournament every single time. But you talk about a lot of money to be won in a bass fishing tournament. That's pretty cool, man. And I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm going to do my best to get out there next year, because I'm assuming it'll be at Mojave again, because I just don't see the water levels at Mead coming up. And, yeah, I mean, I want to catch some of them big smallmouth. But, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed this show. I got to get out there to Rayburn. I think the fish are going to start biting here pretty quick. We had a real big rainstorm come through last night. Have a good feeling about it. This week's going to be a good week. So, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one.